everybody, this is Green Spirit. Today I am coming to you from beautiful Dinosaur, Utah, I believe. And we are enjoying a beautiful sunrise morning. We camped here tonight, and we are intending on exploring some dinosaur fossils today. But I wanted to take the time and show you the beauty of this outdoor space. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that beautiful sky and those red rocks. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna walk a little and see what we find. Yesterday, when we first got here last night, I found these 3 amazing feathers, and I've been trying to figure out what kind of bird it is. At first I thought it was an owl, but now I don't think it's an owl, and I've looked it up and can't seem to find the bird quite just yet, but I will. I'm thinking maybe it's an eagle because the feathers are really large. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at the sky, guys. Look at the sky. Oh, the colors are so vibrant. Let's take a walk through this kind of hedgerow. So there's all these little plants here, like that. And that is desert sage. So I'm going to be harvesting some today before we leave. Whenever I go camping, I always bring supplies like extra baggies and containers and a knife so that I can harvest, whatever I find. And I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to zoom in, but in the distance we have 2 wild cows. Essentially these cows are just in this open space, and they're just kind of hanging out, which is really funny because it's kind of desolate up here. We're kind of in a canyon. So it's kind of cool. Hear the little birds. One time when I went camping up in the state of Washington, I found some bones. At the time, I think they were deer bones, but at the time my husband did not want me to bring them home, and I've always kind of felt bummed out about that. So I feel like I'm always on the lookout for bones. It's absolutely gorgeous. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous. My little boy is super excited to be hunting for dinosaur bones today. Oh, it smells so good. Like campfire, like sage. Oh, finding a winding path here. The sky. There's some truly beautiful formations further down the road, and I'll hopefully take a video for you guys so you guys can see. I'm so blessed, and I got to bring my travel altar with me yesterday, so I used it last night, which is amazing. Originally we were going to camp in a place where it was more created for camping, but I felt like there was way too many people, and so in the true tradition of my husband and my camping, we drove away from it into a place where there's no amenities. But you know what? It's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's quiet. Ooh, so I just found this little space right here next to kind of this dead plant. I'm not sure what this is in this sage, but there's a little area for moss right here, if you can see. So I'm gonna sit down here, enjoy this beautiful, gorgeous morning, and take a moment to meditate, give thanks for this beautiful, beautiful experience. I brought my prayer beads with me, so I'll probably say my prayer beads. Guys, this is my little meditation spot that I found amongst the sagebrush. The sun is directly in front of me. See if I can circle you guys around. It's a little perfect circle. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm going fast. And look at this beautiful mossy spot. You guys see that? Got all this lovely moss. It's like the goddess said, here, sit with me a while. And enjoy this space. I hear the wind and the insects. It's beautiful. Thank you for sitting with me in this moment. Hello everybody, this is Green Spirit, and as you can see, I am back home from my trip to Utah, to beautiful Dinosaur National Monument is kind of between Utah and Colorado, so I'll just leave it at that. But I am back home. We did get here tonight. I believe today's the May 29th. And I'm happy to be back home. First of all, I want to apologize that I was not able to show you more of this natural space that I was in. Unfortunately, I was just not able to, but I did want to show you some of the treasures that I found in going to Utah, both nature treasures and things that I found in other places. I do want to finish up this video kind of quickly, so I will try to go through this quickly. So, first of all, as you all know, I'm in a new state, and it's very hard now if I go to thrift stores and things because there's not a lot of selection. So I was super excited to get to go back to Utah and go to the places that I know and frequent and know that I can find really great things. One of the first places that I went was a store by the name of Crone's Hollow. It's a local metaphysical shop located in Salt Lake City. And it's a wonderful store. If you guys are able to go there or ever in the area, it's really worth a go. It's gorgeous. They also have just a place to hang out. They do classes and public rituals, and everyone's very welcoming and very knowledgeable, and they also do readings, so check them out. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. They're just a really great store, so I always feel like if you find a place like that, you should really kind of give props where props are due. Anywho, they do sell obviously new books and new things, but they also have used books and magazines. And while I was there, I was able to pick up, as you can see, a stack of Sage Woman magazine. And if you've never read Sage Woman, I encourage you to do so. I usually find them at Barnes & Noble. As you can see, the covers are really gorgeous. On the inside, they are black and white. But they do have really beautiful imagery by various artists. Sage Woman usually has really great articles on differing topics. They have recipes, relevant information to any witch or pagan practitioner, specifically having to do with the goddess, which is quite amazing. So as you can see by the tag, all of these cost me $1, so I didn't exactly break the bank. Normally these run about $7.50, so they really were kind of a steal. And even if they are older, all the information in here is completely relevant. So I have Sage Women from 10 years ago that are completely relevant to my practice today. So if you ever come across it, it's really worth a look at. So I found this one. This one is Finding Your Treasure. Some of these I've gone through, some of them I haven't. Most of them I haven't, so I can't tell you what's inside of them except what I can see on the cover. I have gone through 2 of them, I believe. I also found this one, Angels and Guardians, which obviously because I work with angels, I was really excited to pick up. Prayer. Oh, sorry about the glare, guys. Prayer and Invocation. This one is Coming Home. This one is Connecting to Gaia. Gratitude. Grounding and Centering. And Our Sister Moon. This one I've gone through and it's absolutely wonderful. It's all about connecting to the moon and what the moon represents in your life and in your practice. And oh, look at my kitty. She's so happy. She's been hanging around. I just got home maybe an hour and a half ago, and she stayed here all the days that we were away by herself, and she's like been hanging out with me now because she's like, I'm glad you're home. So glad. So I got to go to a thrift store, thank God. Gods. And I was able to find some really great books along with some skirts that I'm not going to show because they're not relevant to this channel, but I found a lot of skirts on sale because it's Memorial Day weekend. Because of Memorial Day weekend, everything was 50% off, which is pretty great. So I picked up a couple of cool skirts, and I found all these books. So I'm going to go ahead and go through them really quickly. These are found all together in one place, so it's very exciting. I got The Beginner's Guide to Fairies and Nature Spirits by Teresa Mori. I found The Only Wiccan Spellbook You'll Ever Need by Marion Singer and Trish McGregor. This one, I have been going through it, and it's actually really good. I usually don't like to buy a lot of books that have I don't usually buy spell books because I like to create my own, although I do get references or ideas, but this one I really liked. I was reading it in the car on the way home. I found The Witch's Almanac by Llewellyn. This is the spring 2007 to spring 2008. Again, this information is still very relevant. If you ever come across any of their almanacs or anything like that, they're really worth picking that up because their information stays very relevant. I found Wicca. This is The Old Religion in the New Millennium, the revised and updated version by Vivian Crowley. I feel like I've read this book when I first started my practice. Keep in mind I am now 31 years old, and I started my practice when I was 12. So that's a long time ago, but I have a feeling I read this very early on, but I can't remember, so I picked it up anyways, and we'll reread it if I have read it and kind of go through it. Again, let's see, I Work with Angels, and this one came up right away. I tend to be finding lots of angel books, which is really great. This is Angel First Aid, Prescription for Success, Climb the Steps to Success by Sue Storm, the Angel Lady. I have never heard of this lady. This is a picture of her. It looks like a vintage book, and I really enjoy vintage books, so I'm looking forward to reading this one when I have time, but I'm about to start school soon, so I don't know how much time I'll have to read any of these books. But I have a quite extensive library of books that I periodically get rid of stuff and, you know, go through them. So I also found Sacred Sounds, Magic and Healing Through Words and Music by Ted Andrews. Here's another book, again, by Ted Andrews. In my previous haul video, I had shown a book I had found by him, and the only other reference that I had was Animal Speak, which I loved. So excited to find another one by this author. Okay guys, now I'm gonna come up to this table, and I'm gonna show you a couple of things that I found out in nature, as well as two things that I purchased. One of these is so amazing, I can't even believe it. So first of all, I'm going to show you this amazing golden feather. Makes me think of an angel feather. This one I actually found right before my trip, like the day of my trip. I found this at Michael's. I had stopped by so I can get some supplies for my trip to kind of have something to do in the car. And this is normally a tray that's $13, $12.99. I believe I paid half off of this, or maybe even more. I saw this and I thought this would make an amazing incense burner. It obviously doesn't have a place for it, but I'm gonna put a clay piece here to make it into an incense burner. So excited for that one. On my trip, just as we were driving home, we stopped by this gas station, and I happened to pass by some statuary they were selling, and they had these most amazing owls, which is really, really exciting. I fell in love with this one. There were a bunch of snowy owls, but she was kind of like the odd owl out. She was the only brown one, and I always kind of go for the underdog. So this is the one I chose. She's incredibly detailed. If my camera will focus, you guys can see. I'm not sure if you can see that, but she's incredibly detailed. She's gorgeous. I love her. I'm very excited to have her. I will name her as soon as her name comes to me. And then the other finds are my nature finds that I found when I was at my campsite. The only thing that I don't have here is my sand that I collected because it's still in the car. But I wanted to show you what I did find. So as I mentioned in my video earlier on, as soon as the night that I got there, I found these 3 feathers. I mean, look at the size of these feathers. You can't even capture it, but there's white on the top, and then they go to dark brown, and then they are striped, and they're humongous. And I found 3 of them right close by each other, like the wind had been blowing them away. I was so excited to find them, and I couldn't figure out what they were. I have finally figured out what they were. They are wild turkey feathers. Crazy, huh? Yep, they are wild turkey feathers. They're not an eagle or an owl. I did think they were extraordinarily large, but that's what it is. It took me a while to figure it out, but I finally figured out what these were, and I'm very excited. I'm going to kind of fix them up a little bit. If you ever get feathers like this, if you carefully join them together, under a microscope you can kind of see feathers as scales, and so they have these little kind of bars that hook together. So I'm going to go ahead and do these for these and clean these up. For a very exciting find. The next thing that I found is a lot of crystals. I don't know if the light can truly capture how amazing these crystals are, but I found so many crystals here. They're so detailed. If any of you know what these stones are, I'm pretty up on my stones, but some of these I have never seen. I've never seen this one. So if you guys know what these are, please let me know, because I would really appreciate that. I am kind of a rock witch, and I enjoy crystals and researching ever since I was a little girl, but some of these I have no idea what they are, so if you can just tell me, that would be great. I'm not sure if the light is catching all the sparkles, but pretty much all these stones are really sparkly. This is some kind of conglomerate. It almost looks like gravel, but it's not. And again, it's very sparkly. Even this one is like a blue stone, and it also has some shine to it. And of course, some just regular quartz, and I think this is a citrine, and this is a milky quartz I found. This one I probably will paint a sigil on it, or a rune. That's kind of why I picked that one up, or even a goddess, because it's milky white. So shiny. And even the sandstone, it's got such like sparkle to it. I don't even know if the camera's capturing it. My battery's running out, guys. I'm going to try to finish up here. Anywho, very exciting. I found all these crystals relatively close together at my campsite, and I was super excited. So, you guys can tell I'm a little bit tired because we've been in the car all day and it's just been a long day, so I wanted to get this video done. But the piece de resistance, if you were paying attention to my video earlier on when I was at the campsite, I had mentioned that a long time ago I had gone camping with my husband in Washington State, and I had found some bones, and he didn't want me to bring them home, and I always kind of felt really upset about that. Well, if you also were watching when I was speaking about finding my little meditation space, I took the time to meditate, I prayed, I gave thanks, and then as just a show of gratitude, when I was sitting in my meditation space, I also kind of gave energy back to the earth. And as I was sitting there, I prayed, and I basically asked the Lord and Lady if they felt that I should find anything that would benefit me in my practice out in nature that day, that I would really appreciate it if they could send me things. And like I said, shortly after I said that, we went on a little hike, and I found all these crystals, which was amazing enough. But even more amazing than that, guys, you guys are not gonna even believe it. I was in shock, but I found bones, and not just any bones, a deer head, and other bones. And I'm gonna show you. These are in a bag because they haven't been cleaned, and they're still full of sand, and I don't know if there's any little critters in there that have been kind of working away at this. But I was just absolutely overjoyed and flabbergasted. So here we go. As you can see, it's a skull of, this is actually a doe. I've already researched it. It was in the process where it's been out left into the elements, so it's quite torn up. You can kind of see it from this side. This side is the most intact side. It is missing its jaw. And this side is a little bit more torn up. I found the head first, and I was overjoyed. And then shortly after, on another side of this rock formation, I found this vertebrae. And then I completely missed this one, and my husband said it was right next to the vertebrae, but he found, I don't know if this is some kind of leg, but see, it has a little joint. So it was pretty exciting, guys. I have to say, I'm going to turn it gently around. Obviously, like I said, it needs to be clean, so I don't, so you can see all the teeth. Anyways, if this bothers you, I apologize, guys. I don't mean to offend anybody in any way. So I'm sorry if this does bother you. But this is something I've wanted for a really long time. It's going to be an awesome representation of the God aspect, or Cernunnos. however you want to pronounce it, on my altar. And then, you know, I asked for things, and the Lord and Lady saw fit for me to find these things. I've camped quite a bit, and besides that first time all those years ago, I have never found any other bone. And the fact that I literally had just been talking about it, and then, you know, I asked if they could send me something, and then, you know, 15-20 minutes later I find all these amazing crystals, and then the bones. I just saw it as a sign. So if it offends you, I do apologize, but I'm sorry I sound a little tired. I really am thoroughly excited. I'm just really tired at this point. And anywho, so that concludes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will try to be back soon with a craft video. As I said, I'm starting school actually tomorrow, so I may be a bit busy, but I do have some craft videos in the works, things that I want to show you guys how to make. One thing I plan to do is a video on how to make a hand tray or bowl for your crystals, or even just a display for like an offering for your altar, and I plan to do that soon. But without further ado, guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend here in the States for Memorial Day, and just a great weekend in general. I sure did. I am glad I was able to find all these things, and I hope to be back soon with another video. So blessed be, guys. Have a wonderful night, and goodbye.